Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in, come on in. It's good to see you guys. My name is Thomas Brush. I'm making the games for a living. And we're going to have a good time today. We're going to jump inside of Unity and we're going to take inspiration from the greatest artist of all time. And we'll talk about who this is in just a second. Before we do that, guys, we're going to talk about Full-Time Game Dev. Full-Time Game Dev is sponsoring today's live stream. AKA, I'm sponsoring today's live stream. If you want to join over 3,000 students worldwide to join my program called Full-Time Game Dev, you can get 50% off, and there are just 90 seats available, and this sale ends on Monday next week. So you guys have three days left? 3-ish days left. So check it out if you're interested. You're going to learn everything I've learned in the last decade of making indie games. The C# side, the 2D, 3D side, but also the marketing side. The getting coverage by press outlets like Time Magazine, like Washington Post, like I did. Getting coverage from YouTubers. And that's actually what Stream My Game is about, which is a new course that I have. It teaches you everything I've learned about getting YouTubers to play your game. And also you're going to learn how to get funding from Kickstarter and funding from publishers. It's not a BS course. It's actually pretty great. And I can say that confidently because I have students who love the program, over 3,000 students worldwide. And I actually have a student recently who just raised over $100,000 on Kickstarter using my tactics. So if you're interested in joining the program, click below. Now let's go ahead and jump into Unity or Photoshop and get started. Now guys, me and Felipe, the 3D artist, he might show up during the live stream here. We have been hard at work putting a standardized system together for this game called, well, we think we're going to call it Good Boy. So as of now, everything is really blocky. It's really simplistic, and that's actually what we like. We've kind of done an overhaul of the graphics in the last, 4 or 5 days. Because I've been playing Mario Odyssey lately, and Mario Odyssey is very geometric. And the Kirby Forgotten Lands game is very geometric. Everything is intended for platforming, okay? So that's really what we're doing here. We have a bunch of standard sizes. We have double jump platforms that are perfect size for a double jump. We have regular jump height boxes. We have moving platforms. We've got everything for this game, okay? Now, there is an artist. He is my favorite illustrator of all time. His name is Thomas Brush. I'll show you his work. No, I'm kidding. My favorite artist of all time is a guy by the name of Ivan Earl. And he is freaking incredible, okay? So for some reason, shopping for Ivan Earl gives us interesting product searches, but regardless, what we could see here is beautiful artwork here. Beautiful artwork. So we're going to take inspiration from Ivan Earl. In particular, this image here, because his work is very geometric, and it's actually very, it works well within the confines of a platformer, okay? So I'm going to take this image here, I'm going to copy it, and we're going to jump inside of Photoshop, and, well, let's see here. For some reason it won't. I wonder why. Let's see here. Let me try and drag it over this way. It won't come. There we go. Copy image. There we go. All right, so this tree right here is going to be our inspiration. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Give me just a sec here. I'm going to close my window. Okay. So this is sort of our inspiration here. I'm going to paste that in here just to put it up at the top left-hand corner here, just as an inspiration for what we want to do here. We're creating concept art for Felipe, our 3D modeler, and Felipe is going to use this concept art to create a 3D model. There are a few things we want to do here. The first thing I'm going to do is actually, I think I'm just going to create a rounded rectangle like this. I'm going to fill it in with the same exact color swatch we've got from our current tree. Now, why are we doing this, guys? The reason is because this tree is round. It's high enough to jump on, but it doesn't feel good to jump on. So you really want to be, especially when making like a 3D platformer, you want to make sure that everything feels good to jump on. Okay. So how Felipe wants to do this model, it's really up to him. I'm just going to show him what I've got in mind. That's the ultimate goal here. So we have basically a nice flat surface here. I'm going to go pretty large. I'm going to squash the bottom a little bit though. So I'm going to convert it to actually let's just rasterize it here. And we're going to bring it up like this, okay? There we go. Let's go ahead and get rid of the actual branches here. I don't actually want two. I think that's confusing. So I'm going to fill that in, or I'm actually just going to delete it. There we go. And now we have this platform here, okay? And some branches. So there's our platform. We're going to clean it up a little bit here. There we go. And I'm just going to do some cuts here, make it look a little bit more angular. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. So here's sort of the way me and Felipe work. So this is great for you guys to know because a lot of you are working with teams, okay? Felipe and I have learned a lot together, working together, about sort of what our forte is. And Felipe's got a billion fortes. I'm very jealous. But one of my fortes is I have a very unique sort of sensibility when it comes to 2D art. Okay, so let's see here. Let's throw in a leaves texture. So I'm actually going to go into Unity here. I'm going to type in leaves, and we actually have a standard set of leaves that we can use. There we go. I'm not going to define a pattern. Why not? Let's just define a pattern really quick. But we have very unique skill sets, and the goal with any team is to slowly figure out how you play into each skill set so that you're both being utilized as best as you can. And that's definitely a challenge. But my goal here is to play into my unique sensibilities when it comes to 2D art. So what I'm going to do here is just create a 2D piece of art and then throw it into our game design document, and Felipe can do what he wants with it and try and figure out how to represent this in a three-dimensional space. And that's actually one of his fortes. He's really good at taking concept art and making it look glorious. So let's do that for Felipe. In fact, we're almost done with this already. That's what's pretty cool about this sort of style that we're working with. We're working with very simplistic shapes here, and you know, we teach a lot of this on our channel. Basically, I say we because Felipe has been releasing videos and on my YouTube channel. And one of his recent videos, he teaches about everything basically conforms to a basic shape. So you can see we started with that rounded square, used primitive triangles and cut through, and now we've got this very basic shape, right? So this is I think it needs to look a little bit more rectangular like that. Yeah, okay. So this is you know, a very basic shape tree, but it looks very cool. It looks like an Ivan Durrell tree. One of the ways to make an Ivan Durrell tree is actually to just, and this is a great way to be, you know, not the best illustrator, but create stylized trees, is to sort of use geometry like this, kind of create a maze out of the branches, and they just go straight up, right? Like this. Yeah, it should go a little bit smaller. There we go. Good. And maybe we could do one more right here. Okay. And we'll be adding shading in just a second so it all makes sense. But something that we're really excited about right now in working on this game is, let me do a little bit of a skew. One of the things we're really excited about working on this game is we now have color swatches that are basically the law of the land. You do not stray from the color swatches that are provided in the game design document. That's our rule, okay? So we're really excited because those limitations actually free us up in a weird way. It's emotionally freeing to know I have to stay within the confines of a few colors. At least that's something I love. And so right now we're just working with the very basic colors of our color palette. Nothing crazy. I'm going to just skew that up. I like everything to be nice and clean, okay? So I may communicate that to Felipe. I may say, okay, dude, I want everything to look straight up vertical or horizontal. Everything is very flat. I think that might be what we do here. Ooh, yes, we needed to scale that. That's great. Yeah, I think this is great, honestly. I think that's about all we need to do here for the tree. Okay. Isn't that cool looking, guys? I really like it. Honestly, I don't think we need to do anything. I mean, we could throw in the bark. We have some bark here. So I'm going to open up. This is why I love this Universal Swatches palette, because the Universal Swatches palette for the entire game, or at least for this one level, so it's more of a level palette. I can actually bring that into Photoshop, paste it over, and it's going to look pretty much the same as what it will in Unity. It's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and add, I have this cool idea here of, I'm going to put a little top there so that's clearly something you can walk on. Let's see here. I feel like we need to make it a little bit wider, something that you can clearly walk on. So let's try a little bit wider here. Yeah, or just bigger. There we go. Awesome. Okay, that's all we really need to do for the trees. Now, what we can do is create meshes that include a pop of color, okay? So let me jump into, let's see here. I'll drag this over here really quick. I'm going to try and open up our color palette to show you guys the color palette that we're currently working with. I'm going to open up a file here. We're going to go to my project folder. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to open up my project folder, and there's a concepting folder. And that folder is, let's see here. That folder is going to contain our color scheme. So that's the wrong one. Hold on one second. I'll drag it over to this screen in just a sec here. There we go. Okay, guys. See how exciting this is? Look, check it out. So this right here, this, well, where'd it go? Yeah, this right here is sort of generally what I want it to feel like just in terms of color. And up here is all of the colors we're limiting ourselves to. Okay, these were actually just picked from my brain. I just sort of like all these colors. They communicate to me a Downton Abbey, Chopin, Claude Debussy, however you say it, Clair de Lune, French Impressionism, evening, delicate piano, drinking champagne. I love that. I love that feeling. And that's what we're going to go for this game here. So this color palette really communicates that, okay? So whatever you're doing with your game, whether it's a 3D game or a 2D game, I highly recommend you stick to a color palette. Do not stray from that color palette. Now, obviously, you could stray into a totally different color palette in a new level, but you would stick to that color palette for your next level, okay? All right, so I'm thinking Felipe can throw on some apples. So you can have some trees with apples, some without, okay? So I'm just gonna keep drawing these here. Very good. Just sort of gonna have to mimic them being behind the tree. And how he wants to do that is really up to him, right? Are they 3D? Are they quads? What are they? You know, we don't really know, but that's okay. I want to leave it up to him to figure out what he wants to do with it. That's a really pretty tree. So let's create some notes for Felipe. These are optional, can be disabled, right? So sometimes there's fruit, sometimes there isn't. And that's about it, honestly. I don't think we need to do anything else. So we're going to merge all this together, copy it, and we're going to put it into our game design document, okay? So I'm going to open that up really quick. Let's see here. So I'm going to put it on my other screen here just so you guys can't see it. Okay, so there's a section in here with a bunch of reference images, and I'm just going to paste that in, and he can use it for reference. Okay, let's see here. Give me just a sec here. Yep, good. All right. Trees. We're going to call these, we're just going to call them trees. And let's move on to the next one, okay? The next one is going to be, let's see here. What's next on my list? We've got trees. I wrote it down. Walls, homes, and grass. Let's do the grass really quick, okay? Now, I don't want Felipe to have to redo some of the grass. He threw something together for me really quick, but I want to make it a little bit more unique, okay? Well, not unique, but I want it to sort of stand out a little bit more and indicate, hey, this is something that we can interact with, okay? So there it is. It's kind of got a Wind Waker vibe to it, or Legend of Zelda. So I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of this. We're going to bring it into Photoshop. What I love to do, and actually one of my buddies, Pete Cooper, who was an illustrator for Blizzard, something he does is he takes three-dimensional objects, screenshots them, and brings them into Photoshop. That way it's not too challenging to get some good perspective, okay? So I'm going to screenshot that, take it into Photoshop. Okay. I'm going to save this really quick. No, Photoshop, I'm not going to give you more subscription fees. My goodness. They don't stop. Trees. Good. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. I'm just going to blur the heck out of it. And then I'm going to paste this grass on there. And I'm cool with cutting the grass out. There's not much to change here, but there's this theory, okay? And it's something that I think a lot of you might have some thoughts on. I will ask the question, would you rather, if you were making a 3D game, would you rather all the models, and there's no right answer, it just depends on your working style. Would you like all of your models to have their own unique texture that's hand painted, and you open up that in Photoshop and it's this one big texture with all of the different shades and all that? Or would you like a nice clean universal texture, for example like a leaf texture that's a square, and you put it on a variety of objects including the grass, right? So that's a question that Felipe and I have been sort of wrapping our heads around, and what we've decided is about 90% for our game in particular, about 90% of the objects in the game are going to utilize a 512 by 512 texture that's global, that's used across the board. That way, if you want to tweak the texture, it's going to tweak all of the graphics, like all at once. It's good because it's that one texture. So for example, if we wanted the trees to look a little bit more bluish, maybe throw on some flowers, you could open up that texture, tweak it in Photoshop, and then everything across the board is changed. Now, this is definitely going to give you a limited look. It's going to look more like, I don't know, something like an old Animal Crossing game. But it's definitely something to consider. Clean, universal. Okay, we've got votes for universal textures. It's a lot cheaper. It's faster, better organized. Yep. I agree, but it's hard to do that and make your game look like super high quality. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying it's hard. It's hard to do. So it's just something to think about. Okay, so when we look at grass in, let's say, Wind Waker. Okay, let's open up Wind Waker really quick. I'm going to go to Google Images here. And we're going to take a look at the grass in Wind Waker. Okay. I love Wind Waker. Apparently I'm getting old because this is indeed an old game. But I freaking love this game. And I think it's gorgeous too. So we've got grass. The grass blades don't really have a line going up the middle. I kind of feel like they should. I mean, I don't know. Let's try it out. Yeah, I'm thinking something like this. Basically, just a very subtle dark brown. It sort of goes up but it wouldn't go up the back, would it? Yeah, that's more like a leaf. So I think all we want to do here is maybe add some highlights, just like in Wind Waker. to the leaves and call it a day, right? This allows us to actually see what's going on with the leaf itself, right? The dimension. There's not a lot of dimension currently with our grass. So we're just going to set it to overlay. And there's our grass. Look at that. Pretty cool. I like that a lot. Anything else, Thomas? Anything else you want to do, buddy? I think the reason Wind Waker's grass looks so good is there's not a big difference. There is a big difference between the bottom of the grass and the ground. The reason why this is important is, actually, you know what we're going to do? Let's take a look at it really quick. If it was transparent, like faded right there, that might actually look good. I'm not so sure. Let's start with just dark like this. And then below it, I'm going to put the grass color, okay? So let's take this green here. Just like that. And then the goal is, so what I like to do is just sort of show what that end result's going to look like in Unity. And how Felipe decides to do it, it's really up to him. Okay. Now, something to take note of is, Thomas, is this going to take, are you going to have to do concept art for everything in the game? No. It's just for this first initial push to get the feeling, to get the flavor of the game. Once you get the flavor down, it's a lot easier to move forward with variations of the grass. Let's say you wanted to make orange grass. Let's say you wanted to make grass that looked withered and dead. Let's say you wanted to make, back to the tree, let's say you wanted to make a pine tree. It's a lot easier to do that because you have sort of this visual style and it's like pretty clear in your head what it is. And right now we're still trying to figure that out. So this is called grass. We're just going to put this into our document. This looks great. No problems here. I'm going to merge it all together, copy it, and I'm going to put it into the document that we've got currently. So there's our trees. Good. I'm just going to put it into our document here. Oh, yeah. Looks good. Okay. Let's go ahead and do some walls, guys. Okay. So walls are important. I'm actually going to make this canvas size of 1920 by 1080. Proceed. I'm going to delete all of this. I'm going to save this. I'm going to delete, let's see here, all these layers here. I'm going to save this as walls. Okay. Now let's create some three-dimensional walls in Unity. So let's create like a path here, like that. And yeah, we'll put it over there. Let's move this grass. And I'm going to delete stuff. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to be saving anything in the actual Unity scene. But what I want to do is have a wall that's too tall to cross because the walls are supposed to block the player, right? So I'm going to do something like this. So it looks like a wall should be around 30 units high to not be able to jump over. We're going to change the material to be something like tiling of 2 by 2. And let's hit play. I want to see if we can jump over this. Once we're going to get this size set up properly, then we can actually bring it into Unity or Photoshop and illustrate it. Good. So you can't get over the wall, right? No matter how hard I try, which is exactly what we want. And then I'm going to go ahead and set the Y scale or the X scale to be a little bit bigger, and then we can set this to 3. There we go. I'm going to make it a little bit wider because I want to be able to walk on it. I was playing Mario Odyssey, and I love how you think it's a wall and then you realize, oh no, this is something I can walk on, and I can get to something bigger and greater once I get on top of the wall. So I love being able to use everything in the scene. Almost everything you see is going to be a platform. That's the goal. And this is something that I stupidly never really understood until I started. Good, that's great. Until I started intentionally playing the recent Nintendo Switch Mario games. So the idea here is, let's say you do find a platform. You can do a double jump onto that platform, and then you'd be able to do a 1 jump onto the wall here and then walk it. So that's perfect. I'm getting chills up and down my spine, down my leg, and into the back of my neck. I'm so excited. So we're going to take this wall here and we're just going to create just a beautiful reference image that we can see inside of Photoshop. We're going to do one right here as well. You guys are going to love this because basically what we're doing here is we're making concept art a lot easier for all of you. You don't want to have to figure out perspective entirely. That's tough, right? So what I'm going to do is make it a lot easier for us to illustrate what we want this to look like. I mean, I'm going to go so far as to add a sort of squashed pillar in here. There we go. We'll make it a little bit higher. That way we don't have to draw this, right? Okay. Now, how many of you have played Neversong, my game Neversong? Let me know in the chat if you've played Neversong. The thing about Neversong is it's a 2D game, but I love the architecture in that game. I'm inspired by myself. I love the architecture, and so we're definitely going to mimic that in this game. This will actually make a lot of you happy. This game is actually going to be kind of like Neversong 3D in a lot of ways. So that's something to keep in mind here. I think that the wall bricks are not very uniform. So let's see if we can do a little bit better here. We can do 3 by... There we go. That looks pretty much what I want here. That's great. And let's stick them down into the ground a little bit more. Oh, yeah. Okay. And let's remove our little boy here. And then go ahead and take another screenshot. Okay. Now, some of you are probably thinking, oh, I can't do it the way Thomas is doing because he already has a game. You can use just simple black and white blocks. Having everything... the perspective is really what I'm trying to get done right now. Drawing this all from scratch is going to take a while. So as long as you've got like maybe a pretty skybox, and then just some simple blocks, you can start doing your concept art. Okay. All right. So we have our walls here. You guys are going to love this. This is going to be so cool. Watch this. The first thing we're going to do is add shading to our lip up here. Okay. Something like this. Watch this. This is really cool. It's subtle details like this, guys, where you go, where you realize that it's actually not that hard to make things look just beautiful. So just little shading like this. Look at this. Isn't that awesome? So now it's got this little lip overhanging, right? Let's make sure we communicate to Felipe exactly what this is. Okay. Again, Felipe is the 3D modeler who's going to be modeling all of this for us in 3ds Max. Is it 3ds Max or 3D Max? I don't know. And then also Blender. So I'm going to just scoot that over just a little bit like that. And overall, that looks great. Let's go ahead and add a little cap here as well. I'm going to copy this. And I think the cap should actually be a value of 2. 2 bricks, right? I'm going to merge all that together, copy, paste, and then just bring it up and then scale. So now we have a little cap here. It's not perfect. That's okay. We're really just trying to communicate the flavor of what we're going for here. Now, you can be a little too unspecific with your concepts. And so you want to make sure you understand exactly what the team member you're working with, or even yourself, how much detail you need before for the individual to know what you're going for. Okay, so just keep that in mind for sure. All right, the next thing is some shading. Well, no, not necessarily shading along the bottom. I don't think we need that. Let's add some cracks. Okay, I love adding cracks. Just subtle cracks here, nothing crazy. And these are just very subtle cracks in our wall to make it look more intentional. Nintendo does this really well. So basically, Nintendo has things look very, very, well, they're basic, right? They're very basic. But they add subtle details here and there. And those details indicate to us Nintendo did this on purpose. There's something subconsciously that happens where there's a beauty that comes from the understanding of someone communicating to you that it was intentional. It's a weird sensation. I'm not sure what it means exactly, but if I indicate, hey, I know this wall's just a block, but I'm going to do a little cut just to show you that I'm intentional here. It's just a weird thing. I don't know what the psychology is behind it, but it just feels great. That looks good. And then what we can also do is start adding some, watch this, this is fun. Just some subtle divots to indicate, hey, there's like indentions every once in a while. See that? Look at that. Little indentions. Nothing crazy. Boom. Very subtle. Oopsie, let's do it on a new layer and then drop down the opacity. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Okay. Let's see here. Hanging grass coming down from the top. This is going to be fun. I've actually already got a texture for this. Okay. So we can actually just utilize it. It's called moss. There it is. Let's take it, merge these layers together, copy, and it's not going to go across the entire thing, I don't think, but we'll take a look and see. Copy, save the walls, paste. I'm going to create a sort of line of them. All right. And then we're going to just put them along the wall. Do one like this, maybe another one like that. It's more scattered. This one, maybe shrink it. There we go. That should do. That should do just fine. What is that? Oh yeah, let's merge that down. Merge that down. There we go. And let's copy all this, merge together, and then all we got to do is just do a little bit of a skew and a distortion. So we'll bring the distortion down this way. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Awesome. Overall, it looks pretty good. It's not like the greatest thing ever. I think what I might do is sort of squash it here and then do another set maybe. No, I think what I'm going to do is just do it like that and then copy these two and just bring them over here. All right. And then transform it, flip it horizontal, and just put it over here as well. So those, just to indicate, hey, yeah, it does loop, but it's a little bit more random, but that's the idea. Isn't that cool? So now we have grass hanging down from the walls. Okay. Now, what I'm doing in my head is I'm thinking, how is this scalable? How is this repeatable? All of this is looping textures. 512 by 512 textures. This one, right? The bricks. So I'm not adding any hand-painted details anywhere. All of this is looping textures, right? Hey, I think we should probably go ahead and do one on top of the pillar as well. It's really important to communicate this stuff. There we go. We could actually copy that one, paste it. Copy, delete, paste, and then flip it horizontal. Put it here. And then skew just a little bit. There we go. Just enough to let us know what's going on. I'm going to even fade out the edges just so there's an indication that it's there. Okay, save it out. Now, let's find some sort of Victorian, like a flower or something. Let's see here. Low poly 3D flower, something like that. Let's look that up. Low poly 3D Flower. I'm thinking some sort of rose at the top here. Now, let's zoom in here and just add something here. It needs to look like an iron figurine of some kind. So we're going to use our swatches, guys. Don't guess and check what your swatches are. Have a document open with all your swatches. So we're going to use that dark gray. So we're going to create some sort of steel structure here. I don't know what it is, but we're going to indicate to Felipe we want something here. And then he can maybe consider it. I'm thinking something like a flower here. Some kind of weird looking flower. So that it feels a little bit more Victorian, which you guys know I love. You know I love that. And then one here as well. There we go. Merge these together. I'm going to drop down the opacity and then cut, just so it sort of blends in with that fog. See that? Pretty cool looking. Awesome. I wonder if we could do something like this. Yeah, we could. There it is. So let's go grab that color again and just do a little bit of fade here. It's like a cool looking little flower or something. I don't know what that is. That's pretty cool looking. I like it. All right. So that's looking great. The next thing I want to do is, it looks like we lost a lot of our cuts, so we probably need to go ahead and bring those back. I'm going to merge all the layers together here and just add in those cuts again. I think it's really important that we communicate that. I don't know. I covered them with the moss, actually, so that's a problem. All right. Good. Okay. What do you guys think? Pretty cool, huh? Really enjoying how this is looking. We can do some very, very subtle cuts along the vertical as well. All right. Okay, so let's put some vertical cuts along down here. So it looks like it's sort of cracked. Now, the way that we're going to do this is going to be an arch right here, so we're not going to do anything there. We're going to create some very subtle vertical cracks just to make things look a little bit more brick. One thing that we're avoiding here to discuss really quick is I'm not creating cracks or any mesh details. A mesh detail would be the cuts in the actual mesh itself, the actual changes to the mesh itself. We are not doing anything to the mesh that's correlated to the texture. And here's why. It's because, well, what if I want to swap out the texture? What if I want to make these walls look like vertical pieces of wood? I don't know. Now, Felipe and I discussed this, and we know when we understand that that's a very, it's not like every texture is going to work. But we want to do our best to ensure that the mesh is not necessarily perfectly correlated to the texture, okay? So watch this. You're going to think, those look really bad, Thomas. Why are you doing this? Well, just hold on. So these are details in the mesh. This is not a detail in the texture, okay? That's because we've got this global texture here, and it's not hand painted. I'm going to select the half of each triangle. Watch this. I'm going to blow your mind here. I'm going to select half the triangles here. And again, guys, I say again because I talk about this every time in my stream. This is all we're using today. Okay. Rubble at the base of the wall. Good thinking. If I invert those and make them white, you're like, okay, what? Then set it to overlay. Look at that. Now we have these very subtle cuts in the walls. Beautiful, beautiful. I like that. Okay. I'm going to add a subtle drop shadow below this just so it's pretty clear that that's a lip here, because it's kind of it's losing its luster as we continue editing. So I'm just going to do something like this. There we go. Awesome. And you know what, guys? What I like to do with my concept art is just make it look like the ideal. What's the ideal? I used to be like, well, I don't know how we're going to do that, how we're going to make that drop shadow look that good. The answer is, I don't know how to do it necessarily with the current shader we're using, but I'll show you what I want and we'll see if we can achieve it, right? Same is true with this highlight here that I'm adding. This is just a very subtle highlight. I don't know how we're going to do it. We may have to use rim lighting, but might as well just put it there to give it that extra oomph. See? There we go. So how pretty is that, guys? Don't you love it? Let's also go ahead and just add, remember, everything should look like a platform, right? And so I'm not actually going to add any rocks or rubble. In this game, everything is square and chunky. Everything can be jumped on. So a round rubble block, that's not really something I want to do. I'm going to open up that tree really quick that we did. Okay. And it looks like we're going to need to, apparently I merged everything together and saved it, which is really unfortunate. I'm not going to add the tree. I was going to add the tree, but never mind. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is go ahead and add some kind of option for a some kind of let me show you. I'm gonna take that color there. Again, that's part of our swatches, so that's why I can pick it, and it's I'm not breaking any rules. I'm gonna create a cast iron fence. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Distribute them evenly. Something like this, and I'm gonna make sure I tell Felipe, hey, you know, we can do whatever you want here, but something like this is the cast iron fence. And this is definitely something that is present, ever present, in games like Neversong. Just, there we go, and I'm going to duplicate them and just put them right here. Okay, and then now that we have a smart object of this, the cool thing is I don't actually have to do concept art for the cast iron gate anymore, because I can just put it up here, and we can see the reference. All right, let's go ahead and use the distort. Follow along that edge, follow along that edge. It's going to be pretty small. And I'm actually going to put it down like this. And then just invert it. And then just sort of create just a subtle loop here. And some kind of optional ability to put that there is all I really want. Okay, and maybe we'll put one over here as well. I need to fix the perspective though. It's not perfect. We're not looking for perfect, but that's not good. So transform, skew. Just like that, yeah. There we go. Something like that. I'm going to fade it out. Just gives you an idea of what we're looking for here. Nothing fancy. Mask it out, and we've got ourselves some fences. Let's go ahead and add some kind of window. So I'm thinking like this. But I like tall. I'm a big fan of tall. So we'll add a little bit of a window into this wall here. And I'm going to take this color here, fill it in, scooch over, invert the selection, and then just darken, or actually do a dark gray right here. See, look, now we got, that's pretty. I love seeing stuff just pop like that. That looks great. All right, so we've got our window there. Why not take some time just to add a little bit of that. I'm getting chills thinking about it. I love Tudor style windows, my friends. So it's not really Tudor style windows, it's Tudor style like cast iron bars. See that? Awesome blossom. Take this, do another one here. Check it out. And then you grab this gray, and then you just fill it in. Awesome. I'm going to squish it a little bit here. There we go. Awesome, guys. So now we have these cast iron windows here. not cast iron windows. There, I think it doesn't really look. I think we need to squish it a little bit more. I could probably fade out the edges there and get away with it. Yeah, something like that. I just needed to communicate, hey, this is like a Tudor style window. Probably need to rasterize it and scooch this down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it needs to look more like a pattern. See that, guys? We'll do one more. Just to indicate, hey, it goes all the way up here. Oh, I love that. Okay. So we've got a window here. Let's add a little bit of a lip to indicate, hey, there needs to be a 3D mesh that outlines this. So it's going to be something along the lines of this here. So we're going to invert it, that selection, and just do a dark sort of pulse around the window. See that? Invert, or drop down the opacity, and then just do this as well. So hopefully you guys understand why we're using a reference image here, because all we got to do is draw shading over it just to start giving an idea of what exactly is going on with the mesh. That's pretty cool. What do you think? Awesome, awesome, awesome. You think the window should be a little bit more pink? Okay. You're right. Let's do it. Brilliant. Very smart. Good job. Thank you. All right, so that's just one window. Felipe can do as many as he wants, but it feels all right. I don't know if that lip at the bottom is really something I'm enjoying. Let's fade out the bottom here and just sort of leave it up to the inner eye to understand how far that lip should go out. Use your inner eye to see the future. Who knows the movie? Use your inner eye to see the future. All right, let's do that little gate. Now, what do we like, guys? Do we like tall or do we like wide? Well, actually, we like either or. We don't like medium. We want nice and big and wide or tall and thin. I think a nice and big and wide gate, kind of like it's in Hobbiton, is much more ideal. So something like this, okay? So I'm going to take this. We're going to create a nice wide gate. It almost makes this look like a bridge, doesn't it? Which, by the way, it could be a bridge. And we're going to just go ahead and fill it in with this pink color here. Just like that. All right. Watch this. Bang, 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 bang. Select inverse. Add a dark shadow. And here we go. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh my word, it's 3D. All of a sudden, it just became three-dimensional. Pretty amazing. Hey, let's do a little bit of a green over it so that it looks like it's sort of fading out into the horizon. Thomas wins again. Look at that. Use your inner eye to see the future. Come on, does anybody know it? We'll do a little bit, some hills in the background like this. The horizon is so important. It's really important to get your horizon down, aka your skybox, because Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Yes, good job. Yeah, you want to be able to see the horizon in the background here, so that we kind of have an idea of, okay, this is what this world looks like. I'm going to do another one. But we also want to make sure we're fading cleanly between these colors here, okay? Just like that. And then cut. Cut, cut, cut. Very good, Harry. Oh, Mini Tom said it first. Sorry, Mini Tom. By the way, guys, Full-Time Game Dev is still 50% off today. So if you're interested in joining the program, be sure to check it out below. It is the spring sale. It's exciting. And I'm one of those guys that feels really icky promoting his courses. Believe it or not, I really do. I feel icky. I'm like, ugh, well, I don't want to promote this. But it really does work for people, guys. People love the program. If you're a student, I can say this confidently every time too. If you're a student, say hi in the chat. Tell me what you think about the course. Because almost every time I say, hey, what do you guys think about the course? I get good responses. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, that needs to be green. All right, so I don't like that, whatever I just did there. My brain can't figure it out. I think I just need to sort of fade it out like this. What am I doing? Oh, okay, yeah, let's merge it all together. Whenever I get confused, I just merge everything together. Use your inner eye to see the future. Okay, yeah, so we need to do this. Just basically fill in here all these different colors. Pretty cool, huh, guys? All right. Sweet. I like it. I like it. Who knows what that's from? I like it. I'm just going to take this texture here and just slap it on there. Because you can't really tell that that's brick. Oh, yes, Hermione, there you are. Very nice. Pull that over here, and we got ourselves a brick wall. Okay, guys, that looks great. I'm going to add a lip really quick. I love adding just a subtle lip to things, because it just makes it look a little bit more charming and a little bit more intentional, you know? And actually, we can just grab the whole thing here. Watch this. This is going to blow your mind. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Draw. And boop. We'll do one over here too. Drop it down. And we got ourselves a nice little shadow here. Could probably add a little bit one here as well. Oopsie. Just something like this. Yeah. Just drop down the opacity. Sweet. All right, you know what I think we need? I think we need some subtle cuts just to indicate we're being intentional with some shapes. Look at that. Do you see what that just happened? It's really that easy to just go, you know what? I don't want it to be a perfect face. Okay. Now we're going to be using box colliders universally. That means that this will not be a mesh collider, guys. This is going to be a box collider, so that even if we do have some very subtle lips in the mesh itself, it doesn't matter because, well, it's just a box collider. For this one here, we may very well do a box collider here, a box collider here, a box collider here, a box collider here. Nice and clean for the box colliders, okay? You guys haven't figured out where the mushrooms quote is from? Mushrooms! Who knows where that's from? Come on. I thought you knew. We'll add a little cut over here, maybe 2. and invert. Guys, isn't this fun? I'm having a blast. I love doing concept art. Image, adjustments, invert, set it to overlay. Yeah, it's Lord of the Rings. You all know that. Save it, Harry. And the next thing we want to do here is one final thing, and that is at least consider what it would look like to have some kind of vines. Again, we're going to use Ivan to Earl. Ivan to Earl, the way he likes to do his organic, a lot of his organic stuff is like this. Just like this. So just basically little mazes, little textures that subtly go down. And I'll create a 512 by 512 texture for Felipe that he can simply just loop down the edge. Let's try it out and see what we get. Add a little drop shadow. Just like this. Okay. I kind of like it. I like it. Pretty cool, guys. Do a big one here. I'm going to merge all these together. And then what we're going to do is create a fade. Wait, what's going on, Harry? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, merge these together. Yep, just where the drop, yep. Merge all those together, guys. Now what we can do is, we'll try this. We'll cut first. Let's do a nice clean cut. And then a cut there. And then a fade. You want to sort of subtly fade out the ones that are, there we go. That's pretty cool. I really like that. I wonder if we could go a little bit darker. Yeah. The drop shadow kind of looks blech right now, so let's see if we can remove that. Let's turn on contiguous. Grab all. Yep. Let's do like a tolerance of 1. There we go. I'm gonna copy those again. Actually, I'm gonna rasterize the whole thing. Rasterize, copy, delete, paste. There we go. And then yeah. I think we can get away with it. Let's see here. We're missing some. There we go. Let's just grab these. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I merged everything together with that drop shadow. Paste. That looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I really like that. Very fun. I'm having a blast here. Let's copy those over and just flip them horizontally, and we can put some here. Just like that. And I'll darken them a little bit. Don't you guys just want to live here? This is so pretty. And image adjustments, hue saturation, drop down. Save it. And I'm thinking, what else, guys? Do we want one more thing? No formal art classes for me. I did have like an art class in middle school, like it was like one of those electives you could do. But I do things the way that I want to do them, and that's certainly a problem. But in my case, it's worked out for me. Anything else, guys? Anything else? I mean, we could definitely just do this, you know. We could add a little bit of like the grass is sort of going up, just to indicate, you know, it doesn't have to be a flat surface. The grass can be, you know, as fluid as we want. See? That's pretty freaking sweet. Let's add a drop shadow upwards though, just so there's some ambient occlusion. This would probably occur with either baking, obviously, or post-processing. Yeah. Save that out. Spooky graveyard. No, we're just worried about, it's a great idea, but we're just worried about, the wall pieces that Felipe is going to create for us. Anything else, guys, that we think a wall would need? Moss hanging from the entry frame. That's an interesting idea. Okay. We'll copy, and then we can try it. Something like this, maybe. Try that out. This might be a really good idea. Something like this, maybe. Who's still watching the Amber Heard trial? Anybody? Because I gotta tell you, it's great TV. That's kind of cool. Let's see here. Maybe fade out a little bit. Yeah. It looks like everybody is. Yeah. Yes. Let's add some cuts here really quick. No, the Amber Heard trial is so fascinating. It's like a public display of, dare I say it, karma. Look at that. We definitely needed those cuts. This is going to be the most beautiful game you've ever freaking seen. I'm so excited. This is awesome. John gave us about the best rundown of the trial he could. He put a bed and a poop emoji. That's about right. All right, guys, anything else that we want to do here? Am I missing anything? Anything else? We don't really need any gates currently, like openable gates. Cracks, we can't do cracks. I agree that would be cool, but can't really do cracks. Kevin, you follow Legal Eagle? A ladder. No, problem with the ladder is it says, hey, I can be climbed. There's no ladder mechanic in the game, so we can't do a ladder. Torches, that's a totally different mesh. Right now, we're only worried about the walls. I mean, I guess we could probably show it, you know, like a little torch. Why not? That's a really good idea. Blake Lewis. Very good idea. Something like that. And then just squash it. It's something like this, you know? And then we can do a darkening here. Just darken it. That's a really smart idea. I'm glad you said it. That looks great. Good thinking. A support pillar? I don't know. Hey, I just found it out. I just had an idea. Missing bricks. Oh, Thomas. You smart man. Missing bricks. And these won't be problematic from a game perspective. Why? Because clearly the dog cannot go through the bricks, right? That's ridiculous. So we can just do a few. Maybe even some are like stacked like that. See? One here as well. Let's try it out here. It could be like this. Let me show you. All it would really need to be is something that's dark. That, and then scooch over to the left, the selection, select inverse. I'm so sorry. No. And then just paint the darkness like so. Nope. Well, actually, that might work. And then scooch it over the other way for this side. And then just sweet. That was worth it. That was worth it, my friends. a dog banner. No banners. Let's because we've already that's a totally like separate mesh that's already been actually created. And then we'll just draw a little arrow here to annotate. And this is optional. Or this is separate object. And it's going to be iron fence. All right, guys, let's see here. Anything else? The wall would be a million times better if you could eat it. That's from Seth Hall. Seth, that's a terrible idea. Let's see here. Anything else? Okay, I think we're great. Let's go ahead and move this into the game design document and move on to the next illustration. If you guys want to really quickly sort of see the before and after. Before is right here, right? This is actually in the game. After. Before, after. Before, after. So you can see now, Felipe would look at this and go, got it. I know how to do it now, right? It would make a lot more sense to him than just this. So I think it's a little messy, to be honest. Now that I'm looking at it a second time, I think we need to get rid of this. The moss is too much, or the vines. And it's also a problem we just don't need to deal with. So that feels a lot better. This was a little much. So overall, that should be just fine. Okay, guys? So let's save that out. I'm going to copy and paste it into the game design document, which is on Google Drive. Copy. Give me just a sec. So we have our trees. I don't like the tree anymore, so we're going to revisit the tree. The tree we need to revisit, and I'll show you why. Let's go to our tree. I'm actually going to increase the canvas size up. It's important to look at your stuff a second time, but wait, because then you realize, you know what, that looks like crap. So what I want to do here is actually remove this. All that stuff, I'll just fill it in here. And then I'm going to take this cap. I'm going to bring it up. Yep, that's it. And I'm actually going to copy just this piece here. Just stretch it down. Yeah, okay. Don't worry, don't worry. I feel like that, it really should be a full square. It should be a perfect square. Here's what I mean. Perfect square. See? It's a box. That's what it is. So I'm actually going to just revisit this one really quickly here. I'm glad I sort of spotted this so that Felipe doesn't have to remodel everything. And we're just going to clean it up. Okay. Fill, fill, fill. Fill all this in with green. Okay. And then we're just going to go to our leaves texture here. Bring it on over, scale it up. We'll merge all these together here. Just pop it there. Then fade it out here, just at the top. There we go. There we go. All right, that's pretty cool. Looks good to me. Let's go ahead and blur this because it's kind of looking weird. Select, modify, feather. So we're going to feather our selection and then blur. Clean that up a little bit. There we go. Awesome. That's much better, my friends. Part of me feels like it needs to have one more set like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we just fade down. And then, Yes, that looks a lot better. Okay, good. And then we'll just cut, or maybe even just add here. There we go. Something like this. Just add some, just a little lip here. And we've got ourselves the concept art for the tree. Whoops. Ah, crap. There we go. Awesome. Okay, merge these together. Oh, actually, let's add those freaking apples. And the apples, again, are optional. So however we want to handle it, whether it's a mesh or quad, doesn't matter. Merge those together. I'm going to do another arrow. And then just type optional fruit. Merge that together. So this is what it was. This is what it's going to look like after we've tweaked it. It was a little flat earlier, so now it looks a lot better. Awesome. Oh man, everything's looking great today, guys. So we've done a really good job. We've got our tree. We've got our walls, right? And we've also got the grass, which I don't know where that went, honestly. Yeah, we've got our grass here. So as you can see, it's very stylized, very Nintendo, right? But it's clean. It's not, there's not a lot of stylized shapes. It's actually very precise in its shapes, okay? So I'm going to do one thing here really quick. I am going to open up Discord. I'm going to let Felipe know. Oh, my word. He's already done it. Let's see here. They look great. Very good. So Felipe is fast. Cool. Let's take a look here. All right. So let's take a look, guys. Felipe, hate to break it to you, buddy, but we need you to add one more layer to the tree. But he's already finished up here, guys, so I'm going to show it to you. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. Okay, so Felipe's finished up already. So here we go. Let's paste it in. Whoops. Well, let me open it up one more time. Show you guys what Felipe's done here. This is how fast Felipe is. Open up the original here, copy it, and then paste it on in. There we go. So let me close Discord really quick, and I will show you guys what we've got. So he's got some tents he's working on. That tent looks amazing. And we've also got this beautiful, beautiful stylized tree. Didn't he do a really good job, guys? Can we give a round of applause to Felipe? He's been hanging out watching with us, and he's done an incredible job. See, this is why it's so important to do concept art. There's just a merging of two minds. You've got Thomas doing 2D concepts. He's got an idea in his head of what his 2D games look like. And then Felipe is translating that over into 3D. And he's doing a really, really good job. So Zarkin says he is fast Sonic. Evil says, what a legend. Mini Tom Official gave him a round of applause. Well, isn't Felipe great? Congratulations, Felipe. Don't forget that I came up with these ideas, guys. I'm not kidding. All right, let's move into the next concept. You guys ready? Let's see here. And Felipe, if you're watching, buddy, go ahead and make these prefabs. Add the box colliders. Add the correct tree material. Go ahead and get them working the way that the other trees are working. That sounds great. Okay, I'm gonna open up the concept document, or the game design document, and we have a couple more things we want to do here. Let's see here. Rotation, concept art for trees, grass, walls. Oh my goodness, guys. We got to do Victorian homes, Tudor style homes. I am so excited. So let's jump into a new document. And you guys, this is going to be fun. We're going to be adding Tudor style homes. Okay. So how we're going to do this is we're going to, well, let's just go ahead and get a screenshot from Unity. All right. So we're going to go way back in time. And we're going to grab this and we're going to just get a basic box shape, but we're going to put the little doggy over here so that you can see it. Okay. So there's nice scale with le dog. Now, I think I don't want to be able to jump onto the houses, to be completely honest. So I'm going to do 2. Okay. But that does mean if we want to jut out and get onto the roof, we sure can. Okay. So there's 1 and there's 2. Now we're going to need to take a look at some references to Tudor style homes. I have a theory though that they're very clean. Okay, that's probably why I like them so much. And that is my dream, to get a Tudor style home. I have about 12 acres, about 15 minutes from my house, and 12 acres of land. We're clearing it out, and it looks a lot like this, honestly. Beautiful little field, and the goal is to build a big Tudor style house there. That's the dream. Okay, let's see what the dog looks like here with the Tudor style home. I'm just going to add a little lip just to get an idea of like, okay, this is going to be the lip of the roof. Okay, let's hit play. First and foremost, let's hit play. And let's see if the size is proper. That's a big old house, boy. I think it's great. So style-wise, you know, Felipe and I were trying to figure out like, okay, how big are the houses? Are they just props or are they legit houses, right? Where the F? That's so crazy. I can't see the that one box here. Where is that? It's not in the actual scene. Whoa. That's a strange thing. Let's go to find references and scene. I can't even find, oh my word. Okay, so we're just gonna need to move the house. I don't know why that's showing up right there, but whatever. We'll scooch it over, okay? Now, something that's really important to me is making the environment feel very cozy. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we put some sort of just, I don't know, mountains behind it in the screenshot, and also some like walls and stuff. I want it to, somebody wants it, some walls behind it as well. So I think that we can just take this and just put very subtle walls back there, just to sort of indicate like, oh, this is like the way I describe it is, I love Downton Abbey. It's a garbage TV show, but I love it. And the idea is to make it feel like one of those communities that's on the estate. That's the goal. All right. Yep. We'll take this one here and just sort of do another paste. Oopsie. Copy paste. Do like that. So it kind of looks like it's a gate. Yes. All right. Yeah, I mean, I think that generally that's a decent looking house. We're gonna put the doggo right in front of it for scale. Hey guys, put him right here. Whoopsie. Let's let him finish his roll. And then rotate him around. Where's the stupid dog? Mother effing dog. There he is. Okay, let's rotate our doggo. There he is. And I'm just going to we're in pause mode. So we're just going to position him forward. Like so. That way we can get a nice screenshot to give Felipe an idea for scale. But all I got to say is it's actually 4 times the size of a standard jump height. So that gives you an idea of like, oh, I could double jump onto this if I wanted to, you know? I do think it would probably be ideal to do something like this. See? So we may do that. We're going to make this roof red. There we go. And, you know, that doesn't look Tudor, does it? I feel like Tudor would have a dark roof. Yeah. I like the white color. So I don't know. There's the option to do something like this, though. Like a darker color. Like this right here, brick. So I'm quite unsure. I don't actually like that, jutting out like that. I changed my vote. Because that's going to it's going to cause problems with platforming. Do we feel like it's a little too big? I don't. I think it's fine. It'll look good with all the details. Felipe, bye-bye. Thanks for joining us. Guys, give Felipe a round of applause. Because that's all he cares about. I'm just kidding, Felipe. Of course, you know that, right? All right, we've got the doggo in the scene here. Just chilling. So, guys, let's do our house. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's do it. Screen grab here. Just like so. Alrighty. We'll do one a little bit bigger. And then bring it into Photoshop. File, save. We'll save that. File, save as home, house. You guys ready? Here we go. Here we go. We'll scale this up a little bit. Well, I want it to be nice and centered, so we're going to move doggo up a little bit. All you do is just select him, copy, paste him, scooch him up. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Alright guys, this is going to be so fun. The first thing we need to do is take a look at this Tudor style home on Google Images. So let's save it. I'm going to merge all these together. Crop. We can close all of this. We don't need it. No, I want the house. No. No. She was looking kind of dumb with a finger and a thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. I'm turning on my air conditioning. It's hot. Axel Callow says, Thomas, so you're not going for the Tim Burton style? You know, it's a mix, isn't it? I have a world in my head. It's a mix between French Impressionism and Halloween. French Impressionism, Halloween. French Impressionism, Halloween. All day. And so I like to do both. So yes, there's going to be plenty of Tim Burton-esque stuff in here. It's going to be mainly the patterns and also the darker levels. Right now, this is the center hub of the whole world. And so it's going to be a little bit happier. Okay. Okay. Why is it so freaking hot up here? All right, you guys ready? Let's take a look at some Tudor style homes. Let's take a look here. Maybe we'll get some advertisements for some Tudor style bras and panties like we did last time. Let's listen to some Downton Abbey really quick to make sure that this is actually what we're looking for. It needs to feel, I need to hear it and look at it. And the house that looks like how this sounds is what we're going to go for. All right, I'm going to get a copyright strike, but that's okay. Here we go. Some of these are just wrong. All right, honestly, this is kind of what we're going for. But I'm gonna do Tudor style windows. And this is simple and clean, so I think we'll be able to accomplish that. All right, shut your mouth, Chamber Orchestra of London. All right, we got it. All right, so we've got dark framing. We've got a tall roof, basically 45 degree angles. The problem is if you get on the roof, though, I want to be able to walk on it comfortably. So we're not going to be doing 45 degree angle roofs. Let me turn on my fan really quick. Now you can make it look tall, the roof look tall. Yes, I said roof, because it's a dog game. You can make the roof look tall. But I'll show you how we're going to do this. It's a very subtle brown roof, so let's go for brown. So let's open up our color scheme, and it's going to be dark, yes. Just like that. And then these are going to be a little bit lighter. You guys are going to be amazed. It's going to be a it's going to look like a Tudor style house pretty fast. And the beauty of this is that we don't have to make every detail associated with a Tudor style house. You just need the key elements, okay? One of the major key elements to any Tudor style house is going to be the brick, obviously, the dark framing, and then the crosshatch windows. I don't believe they're diamonds. I believe they're perfectly 45 degree angle crosses. It's 90 degrees on top and 45 degrees on each side. I think, yeah, maybe need to do something like this. Let's take out that key and see if it works. Actually, if we take a look here, yeah, the brick needs to go up, actually. Yeah, I see. So it'd be like this. Something like that. So let's fix it here. Yeah, we can keep listening to Downton. One of the things you hopefully will learn about me, guys, is I don't know what I want until I see it. So for those of you who are like, what happened to Tim Burton? It's like, I didn't see it. It's not what I want. I just have to really, it has to be perfect. And that wasn't perfect. Okay. Take these, merge them. So basically it's just gonna come all the way over here and then come down like this. Yeah. There we go. The way that my brain works when I'm doing artwork, I don't really know what it is I'm after until I draw it. And then I can see it and I'm, okay, there we go. And I'll keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking until I can see it. So I believe, there we go. Yes. I'm gonna merge all these layers together. Watch this. Thomas, where'd the brick go? Don't stress. Just copy yourself a little chunk of brick here. Do a feathered selection and paste it on top here. And then just skew it down. There we go. And then just cut. There we go, guys. I'm going to save that. Now it needs to overhang just a tad. So, you know, one of the things we could probably do is add at least a drop shadow here to make it look like it's hanging. Or, hey, watch this. All you gotta do is do a little dark here. There we go. So sweet. Looking tutory. Little drop shadow here. Fade out this edge here. Oh yeah, my friends, looking good so far. We'll do a little bit of a highlight up here, just a subtle highlight to know what's happening, because I can't really envision what this is right here. There we go. Set it to overlay. We'll cut out this piece here though, because it's causing some weird problems. Oh yeah. All right, let's go back into our browser. Snag that Tudor style home again. And what I'm doing is I'm picking the most basic of the Tudor style homes available on Google. Because I want it to be modular. Okay, so I want to be able to rearrange each piece, each cross section of the house and scoot it over to make different looks and feels. That's essentially the goal here. Okay, so it looks like what we want to do now is definitely create some kind of front, like a crosshatch piece here. Yeah, yeah. So you would have some kind of I'm trying to visualize it. Yeah. Yep, okay. So it would be a little bit more forward. Once we get this cross piece done, it'll look a lot more like a house. Almost there, guys. Yeah, yeah. That sounded weird. Anyway. Yes! It's very nice. Then you just bring this over here and just sort of scooch up like this. Getting there. And this one will just be a little bit lighter, okay? So let me show it to you. So you just snag this here and just do about like that. See? Hey Astra Games, how are you? Dented Reality Game Dev says, Thomas, you always stream while I'm in school. That's right. Sweet. Now the problem with this is it doesn't look like it's jutting out. So I wonder how we do that. Yeah, something like that maybe, and then we go forward. Yeah, something like this. Oh, I love this song. Now we're listening to Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword was such a missed opportunity for Nintendo. Don't you guys know? Like, that game could have been so cool. I want Breath of the Wild to be either a mix between Wind Waker or Skyward Sword. Wouldn't that be awesome? If it was like you could travel in the seas like in a Wind Waker. Explore the seas. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet, honestly. Checked it out, guys. It's looking great. All right, let's add some texture. We're going to take this piece here. And we're going to slap it on top. Right here. Transform scale or distort. We'll just fade out this over here in the top. And then we'll do one more down over here. Transform, distort. Look at that. We're getting there. I'm really enjoying this, guys. Sweet. Thomas, it doesn't look like a Tudor style house. That's because of two things. This front piece here is really, really, I think, indicative of a Tudor style house, but also this sort of framing here and also this we needed to have crosshatch windows. Actually, this one doesn't, but so this little platform here would actually be a great way to actually scale the house. So I do actually kind of I think it would be great to utilize it as a platform to jump on, actually. And it would be optional, right? So that's the goal here. By optional, I mean people like me, when I'm laying out the level, I can just disable it and say, you know what? I don't want that. Oh, Gavin Greenaway's starting to play. All right, let's keep looking. All right, so I see. So it's nice. It's a nice little sort of wooden frame here, like this. We'll do a light, sort of almost off-white here. And we'll darken this, hue, saturation, drop it down, see, Harry? Just like this. Save. Look at this, guys. It's coming together, isn't it? Am I winning? You asked me what the dog's doing? Well, over on this side here is his master, and the master's holding up the phone. And on the phone is Robin Hood, and he's actually watching Dogecoin. Just watching Dogecoin drop like a rock. He's really worried. Let's see here. I feel like this needs to be rotated, the whole thing. Yep. Was I right? Yes, I was. Okay, so now we've got like some wooden framing sort of nudged up against the house. So something like this. Just some wooden framing. Big, thick, like mahogany. Wood, this is important. You don't make it dark, like gray. You want to make it wood. See that? That wood really helps it look more... Yeah. This wood helps it look a little bit more... Wait. Yeah, and it's elevated, so there's a staircase. Let's draw the staircase really quick, just so we're not confused. Oh, I gotta think here. I think it's just like this. Yes. All right, guys. The staircase is this white color here. Watch this. This is going to be really cool. So in order to get the staircase looking right, you just go over here. Cut. Drop it down. See that? Look at that. Same here. Drop down the hue saturation, or the lightness. And now we've got our stairs. Isn't that cool? All right, back to these wooden framing devices here. So I'm glad we added that staircase, because now we can get a better idea of where that lip is going to be, which is going to be something like right here. There we go. And guys, we're just using the polygon lasso tool here. Do you guys hopefully see why it's important to have a three-dimensional object to work with? It just helps you see things a lot better. Hue, saturation, lightness, drop it down just a little bit. And yeah, that door is super important. Yeah. Okay, so it's going to be basically a sort of dark wooden section in here. And then the door. Yeah. Let's drop it down. Bear with me, guys. Little dark piece here. And then the door is sort of on the inside here. And Felipe is smart enough to know, okay, this is what the door should look like. So I'm not too concerned about getting the door perfect. for Felipe. And again, guys, those who are just joining us, Felipe is going to take these, and he's currently turning these into 3D models. Then we'll do like some, it's like basically, I love, oh man, I want to get this for my house. Just a beautiful, like tall framed wooden door here. It'll be just dark here. There we go. Oh, that looks great. Okay, we are so close. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, this is a little too thick. Now, one final thing here to make it feel tutory. Watch. 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 Good. Okay, you're all watching now. Now it's going to feel extra tutory. Hey, Thomas. Looking good, buddy. Thank you. Yep. We are good to go here. So let's bring this up. Okay, windows, obvious. Some kind of... I don't really know if I want a railing, to be completely honest. But it would look something like this. There we go. And it would sort of have a lip here. Yeah, the railing's kind of cool. All right, so what we're going to do is just take the one little piece here and just duplicate it. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. It definitely helps it make it look more like a cozy house. I'm going to take all three of these, distribute them evenly, and we're just going to duplicate them and bring them over here. Scale them down. Merge all of them together. Merge, and then just sort of cut the pieces. There we go. I like that. That looks cool. Just cut right here. And you call it a day. Oh, guys, I'm going to cry. Listen to this song. All right, let's do the framing now. The framing is really important. And it's wooden framing, okay? I feel like wood is probably better to frame the house than that dark gray. But I could be wrong. But let's go ahead and try the wood first. Framing here. You guys, this is something I've learned. Me and my wife are looking into building a custom home here pretty soon on the land we talked about earlier. And the framing and the molding and the flourishes and details are what really make a house look like a specific kind of house. And honestly look nice. So just adding these little details here of this framing is going to be what makes it look more like a Tudor house. Yep. What did I tell you? You just need to listen to me more. Good. And we can do a crosshatch even. So this is the music we're listening to today. This is from the Emma soundtrack, and then the song prior is from The Theory of Everything. Something I've definitely learned to embrace is my feminine side, and it's not even something that I struggle with, to be completely honest. I've always had it's easy for me to have a feminine side. I don't know why. It just is. I've had it my whole life. I love more delicate, flowery music. I always have. That's something I've learned. I was insecure about it about a year ago. Or no, like 4 or 5 years ago. Just wondering, like, why am I not like most guys? And now I'm just like, no, it's just I like flowery music, and that's the way it is. That's who I am. That's okay. Now, the framing coming through it, we're going to have to use our little inner dimension, our inner eye, to see what it's supposed to look like here. So basically, we're going to come right here, 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 here. Oh, yeah. This is going to look good, guys. Sweet. Okay. We're going to take the brown here. It's going to be a little bit lighter brown. So we'll go over top of it with the color of the brick. There we go. Like I said, I'm listening to the Princess Diaries score now. Don't be afraid to embrace that inner feminine side, guys. It's okay. You could still be a dude and still like this kind of music. It's okay. You don't need to be scared. All right? You can like AR-15s and the Princess Diaries score at the same time. Did you know that? Do you think it should be that black color, guys? Let's take a look. Let's drop down the saturation. I like the brown. And to me, it indicates... No, we're good. I like it. Hanzo says... Okay, anyway. Would you ever do a video in your gun range, Thomas? No. I do have a gun range at my land. But whenever I did a video where I was like talking about how to make good gun feel in your games, and YouTube deranked that video so fast. It's not really a gun range, it's a shooting pile. I have a shooting pile. It's like probably about like a story, so about this high. Just a big mound of dirt. And then I have like a half a football field length line through the woods that was cleared. And we shoot rifles. Thomas, how could you? Guys, I live in South Carolina. What do you expect? The problem is most guys where I live don't really care for the Emma soundtrack. So, yeah. All right, that's going to look great. So all we're going to do here is, throw in that little crosshatch here. I think it should probably actually be... Let's see here. Yeah, it should be higher. It should be right where this frame is here. See? And then 2 going up the side here. My grandfather owned a construction company. And my uncle knows how to build houses. My cousins own their own construction companies. My dad was in construction for a while. It's sort of a family tradition. So here I am building houses. But I'm not sweating. Actually, I am. It's a little warm up here. Look at that. Sin8 says, Thomas, why is this 2D? Because we're making concept art for our 3D modeler, who's currently working on all the models for this scene here. So we got to throw them all together, okay? Seth Hall says, I just turned 16 and my dad took me to the gun range for my birthday. That's awesome, Seth. I'm going shooting clay pigeons with my dad on Monday. All right, guys, all we need to do is windows. And I say all we need. Oh, my goodness. It's going to take forever. I don't want to do this. We could do 2. So first off, we need to create that indentation. Actually, there's no indentation. Yeah, it's just a clean frame. It's just a clean frame. But you guys know me. I like things nice and even. There. Oh. Yes, yes. And then we're going to take this here, fill it in, and then watch this. Select, contract. Buy something like 20. Oh. Delete it. Actually, just let's fill it in with a dark color. It's really up to, I think we might actually want to do an off-white for the window that sort of glows. Or maybe a, what do you think would be cozy, guys? Let's go to our color scheme here. I think we're going to need to do that off-white for the window. And then it will glow. Give it an outer glow. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that might work. Probably make it a little darker. Okay. Now this is where it gets fun. We're going to create a cross-hatched Tudor-style window. All right? Let's go. Something you guys, I want to sort of give you a lesson about is don't shy away from what you're passionate about. So when you're creating your games, be thinking not what people would think of you, but rather, what do I think of my game? Because you're going to have to live with your game for a long time. And so you need to be sure you're okay with your game. All right? Let's see if we can mask that out and what kind of effect we get here. Oh, Thomas. Always winning awards. Always being great at everything you do. Is it hard being you? Yes. Yes. Not easy. Tell me I'm your national anthem. Look at that. I just got chills looking at my work. Okay, let's put a chimbley over here on the right side. Now, this is indicative of Tudor-style homes. Look at that. I feel like it needs to be brick. Yeah, it does. We'll also put a little piece up here that can be stood on and coins can be collected. I want some coins at the top of the chimney, sir. But Thomas, I don't know what I'm looking at. Well, hold your horses. Are we listening to Castlevania? Oh no, that's Minda's theme. Look at that. Almost there. We're gonna need to cut a few things like this. Look, guys. This song is making me get really, really upset. Here's what I'm excited about. This central hub is happy, but it's got a sense of like kind of a little bit of sadness in the colors here. So that's really important to me because I love sad stuff. So if I get inspired by tracks like we're listening to here, I can go, well, this is good news because I can make this area a little bit darker if I want to later on. Maybe change the lighting or change the post-processing. And then have a dark, moody scene, right? All right, guys. We are almost done with the Tudor-style house. Ooh. Let's open up that brick. But I don't have it, Thomas. Well, we're just going to go to Unity here. We're going to type in brick light. There it is right there. We're going to copy it. Copy it. We're actually going to define a pattern out of it. And we're just going to overlay a pattern over top of it. So pattern. There it is. We're going to make it pretty small. Now we can convert it to a smart object, rasterize it, and then just skew it just a little bit. You know, we're not trying to be perfect here. Just set it to normal, actually, or multiply actually works kind of good. All right, now let's just add a little bit of shading here. We've got a few issues here. This is not lining up properly down here. There we go. Now what does this do here? Oh, it's got a little roof on it. Fun. Isn't that cool? Got a little roof here. Getting a little lazy here, I'll be honest. And I'll show you really quick. Let's do some research about what the shingles of a Tudor style home look like, because I'm not so sure, to be honest with you. Let's add a little bit of grass here. Right? Just so that bottom doesn't look so weird. Look at that. And then we'll fade it out so we can still see our little buddy. Save it. Are we still streaming? We are. All right, guys. Next in line is the roof here. So let's do a little bit of research about what our roof looks like. Tudor style roof. Okay. Yep, there it is. So bigger ones. I see. Okay. So we'll go to Photoshop here. I'll show you. First, we want to do this. Just subtle shades. We're not going to do big ones. Just right there. Look at that. All right, good. And then we'll do one here as well. Just see? Now all we got to do is these sort of wooden little slabs of darkness. Wooden slabs of darkness. Over top, set it to overlay. We'll just do a few. Merge those together, fade them out. Overlay. Oh my word. And then they cross, they sort of alternate, right? Let's just cut there, and that's good to me, man. Let's merge all this together. Save it. Add a little bit of shadow here. Just to make it look like there's the sun sort of shining behind it. And then just for clarity, so I don't lose track of the vision here, I'm thinking beautiful spring trees behind this guy. Beautiful, fluffy spring trees, huh? Like this. All right, let's get that green from the color scheme here. I got to go to the physical therapist in just a bit. My neck's been hurting. Okay, not in a while. Not for a while. Okay, we're good. All right, let's grab this little green color here, actually, this distant green. Oh, look at that. And then we'll do a dark shade here. We'll do two on top of each other. There we go. I'm going to blur them, though, just so we could have a good focal point here. No, we don't need to blur them. It's fine. And then just for clarity here, so he understands, this is one of those walls, right? So I'm going to add a little bit of shading here. And by he, I mean Felipe, who's doing the 3D models. Check it out, guys. Isn't that cool? I like to throw in some just little pops of elements of like, hey, this might be cool to throw in. You know, stuff like this. Little flower. See that? We could even throw in a path. Look. And that would just be the dark brown or the light brown. Just like that. Do a little bit of an inner shadow. Fade it out in the distance. Ooh. You guys hear that? Check it out. I'm having a blast. Guys, this is fun. Look at that. Beautiful little house, huh? Does anyone know if Thomas is sticking to the original storyline of the game? Guys, do I ever? Everything's changing all the time. It doesn't mean that it's wrong to be that way. I just know that I change. That's who I am. Let's type in make sections various pieces. Make sections modular for variability, however you spell that. Okay, I'm going to do that and then just draw an arrow. You see, guys? So there's a ton of variability here so that we can come up with a variety of different houses, right? We could even swap textures. And, you know, we've basically got one house. Oh, one more thing that we need to take note of. Ensure door is hinged properly, leading to a black hole, right? So that we can actually enter into the door if we want to, right? And the cool thing about this game, guys, is it's a lot like Mario, okay? So going into a door means it's like entering a new world. So all of a sudden you're going to be in this massive house with floating desks and bookshelves flying around. It's going to be like, whoa, it's a magic house. Copy that over, put it into our game design documents. So we'll stick that in. And we'll do a quick review of all of the wonderful content we've created. All right, so we've created the house. We've created the walls. Look. We've created the trees. We've created grass. Where's the grass? Look at that. We've done a lot of good things here. Grass, trees, walls, and a house. House, walls, trees, grass. Isn't that beautiful? Pretty thrilled about all this. Let's make sure we clarify really quick. Roof. Roof angle is identical to stairs and other slanted platforms. Should be comfortable to walk on, right? Meaning pretty flat. The greatest artist of all time is Ivan Earl. We took a lot of inspiration from his work for our tree. I'm gonna drop shadow here so we can read it. And we're gonna take a look and see if Felipe's finished any other models for us, guys. He's gonna send screenshots for us. He likes to show his work while we are live streaming. So I'm gonna open up Discord here. Actually, let me paste this really quick. Into our game design document, paste. I'm gonna open up Discord and see if Felipe's gotten anything else for us done. All right. I'll ask you really quick. Got anything else to show the audience while I'm live? Okay. We'll see. Go back to my screen here, save it out here. So overall, guys, try and envision And we'll probably have something to show you next week, early next week, of all of the models slowly coming together in this world. The goal is, and I'll show it to you, these are models that need to be redone, okay? Because those were incorrectly, well, they weren't incorrectly made. It's just we've decided on a different approach. And the approach is every model that we create should have textures that could be easily swapped out. So if this was our house, for example, I could go, hey, let's make it a dark brick. And I just drag it on there. See? So now we've got variability of houses. I want that roof to be red. No, let's make it dark, right? Let's make the roof brick. Let's make the roof grass, right? That kind of variability is really what we're trying to get after here. So that's the ultimate goal here. All right, guys. Felipe is still working on the models, so we are going to go ahead and close up shop here. This was super duper fun, guys. Just remember, if you want to learn all of the stuff that I'm doing here, that's 2D art, making 2D games, even making 3D games with no code, learning to code. If you want to do all of that, if you want to start your own game studio, learn how to market yourself, how to get the Steam front page, how to get coverage from Time Magazine, Washington Post, Rolling Stone, like I did. If you want to get 6 figures in funding before you even finish your game from Kickstarter or publishers, I've done that multiple times. I know it sounds like I'm a snake oil salesman right now. Like, I know it sounds fake, but it's real. And to prove to you that it's real, I have 3,000 students who are learning just that, okay? And the proof is actually right here. This is one of my students, Chris, recently got over $100,000 on Kickstarter. What is real life even? Thomas's chorus works, everyone. Guys, this is me saying, hey, just letting you know that the spring sale is ending on Monday. There's only about 80-some seats left to get 50% off and also get my new course, Stream My Game, totally free. And that course, Stream My Game, is all about how to get streamers like Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, MatPat, Game Grumps, how to get them to play your game. And I've done that multiple times and just used incentives. So, guys, I'm a marketing guy. I'm a strategy guy. I'm an artist too, but I'm a marketing guy. And so that's why this course is so special, because it teaches you everything I've learned in the last decade of building a studio that maintains itself, right? I do get income from the course, but about half of my income comes from games as well. And in fact, the majority of my career was getting sales from my games, okay? That was the majority of my full-time career. The course has literally just made it, well, things are going really, really well. I'll say that. So it's made my life a lot easier. But right here, you can see I do have plenty of credibility on how to bring in income before you finish your game, okay? So I teach you how to do that. Can't make any promises, obviously. It's really up to you. But I'll teach you what I did, okay? So anyway, it's 50% off right now. I'll talk to you guys later. Cheers. Get over here. Get down. Hey, thanks for watching. By the way, if you haven't downloaded that free 2D game kit below, click below. It's my treat to you. I used this game kit to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days, and I actually got to play it with him in front of his audience, which was really cool. This game kit is totally free. It's my treat to you, and you can use it however you want. You can make a commercial game and make $1 million off this game kit. I don't care. Or you could just use it for a hobby project. It's my treat to you. And by the way, if you haven't clicked like, that would mean a ton to me. Hit subscribe. And also, this is important, hit that notification bell. Here's why. If you get notified of when I'm live, you can watch me make my next game and let me know in the chat what you think about the game or any ideas you have. And you might just show up. Your chat might just show up in the next video that I upload. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I love you too.